Havana, a city that breathes history, where every street and building tells a story of its own. A city that dances to the rhythm of its own heart, where music and passion flow through the veins of its people. But before the music, before the revolution, there was a harbour that would become the lifeblood of the city, a perfect natural harbour deep and sheltered on the northern coast of Cuba. It was an ideal location for ships seeking refuge from the treacherous waters of the Atlantic. The Spanish conquistadors, those restless souls, saw its potential immediately. They envisioned a bustling port, a gateway to the riches of the New World. In 1519, they founded Havana. It was more than just a settlement, it was a strategic outpost in their vast empire. This wasn't just any settlement, this was a strategic key, a linchpin in the Spanish colonial network. Havana, perched on the edge of the Gulf of Mexico, became a vital link in the Spanish trade routes. It connected the old world with the new, facilitating the flow of goods and wealth. Gold, silver, and other riches from the Americas flowed through its veins. The wealth of empires passed through Havana's harbour, making it a hub of activity and commerce. Havana was the gateway to the New World, and its importance only grew with time. As the Spanish Empire expanded, so did Havana's role in its grand design. The city's location made it a prime target for pirates and rival empires. The riches that flowed through Havana attracted those who sought to claim them by force. The Spanish, never once to back down from a challenge, fortified Havana to the teeth. They built massive defences to protect their precious outpost. Massive stone fortresses rose along the coastline, silent sentinels guarding against any threat. These fortifications stood as a testament to Spanish engineering and determination. Havana was more than just a city. It was a symbol of Spanish power in the Caribbean. It represented the might and ambition of an empire that spanned continents and oceans. Walk the streets of old Havana today, and you can still feel the echoes of those early days. The Castillo de la Real Fuerza, with its commanding view of the harbour, stands as a testament to Spanish military might. Its ramparts have witnessed centuries of history, from pirate raids to revolutionary struggles. Across the bay, the imposing silhouette of El Morro Castle dominates the horizon. Completed in the late 16th century, it was a masterpiece of military engineering. Its thick walls and strategic location made it virtually impregnable. For centuries, El Morro guarded the entrance to Havana harbour, a symbol of Spanish dominance in the region. But these fortresses weren't just about defence. They were also symbols of wealth and power. The Spanish invested heavily in Havana's defences, recognising the city's strategic importance. These fortifications weren't just military installations, they were architectural marvels, testaments to the skill and artistry of their builders. As Havana grew in importance, so too did its wealth. The city became a bustling hub of commerce and culture, attracting traders, artisans and adventurers from across the globe. The fertile lands surrounding the city proved ideal for cultivating sugarcane. This crop thrived in the warm, tropical climate, and soon vast fields of sugarcane stretched as far as the eye could see. Vast plantations sprang up, fueled by the labour of enslaved Africans. These individuals were forcibly brought to Cuba, enduring unimaginable hardships to sustain the booming sugar industry. Sugar became Cuba's white gold, and Havana, its glittering capital, reaped the rewards. The port of Havana buzzed with activity as ships loaded with sugar set sail for Europe and beyond. The city's newfound prosperity transformed its architectural landscape. Wealthy merchants and landowners invested in grandiose buildings, leaving a lasting mark on Havana's skyline. Grand mansions adorned with intricate balconies and wrought ironwork lined the cobblestone streets. These homes were a testament to the wealth and status of their owners. Churches and cathedrals, their spires reaching for the heavens, showcased the opulence of the Spanish colonial style. These religious structures were not only places of worship, but also symbols of power and influence. Havana became a city of contrasts, where the grandeur of the wealthy elite existed alongside the poverty of the enslaved population. The disparity was stark, with opulent mansions standing in sharp contrast to the humble dwellings of the less fortunate. The sugar boom also brought with it a wave of immigration. People from various parts of the world arrived in Havana, each bringing their own hopes and dreams. People from all corners of the Spanish Empire flocked to Havana, seeking their fortune in the New World. This influx of newcomers added to the city's vibrant and diverse character. This influx of cultures, Spanish, African, Chinese, created a unique blend of traditions, flavors and rhythms that would come to define Havana's identity. The city's streets echoed with a symphony of languages, music and customs, making it a melting pot of cultural influences. Section 4. A city twice won conquest and reclamation. Havana's strategic importance made it, well, a coveted prize. Its location in the Caribbean was crucial for controlling trade routes and military movements. In 1762, the British, eager to expand their colonial empire, set their sights on the city. They saw Havana as a key to dominating the Caribbean and disrupting Spanish influence. After a 2-month siege, Havana fell to the British crown. The siege was intense, with both sides suffering heavy casualties, but the British naval superiority eventually won out. The Union Jack flew over El Morro Castle, a stark reminder of Spain's vulnerability. This occupation was a significant blow to Spanish pride and demonstrated the shifting power dynamics of the era. However, British rule in Havana was short-lived. The British, while victorious, faced logistical challenges and local resistance that made long-term occupation difficult. The following year, in a complex geopolitical maneuver, Spain agreed to cede Florida to Britain in exchange for the return of Havana. This exchange was part of the Treaty of Paris, which ended the 7 Years' War. The city, once again under Spanish control, continued to flourish as a center of trade and culture. Havana's economy rebounded quickly, benefiting from its strategic location and the resilience of its people. The British occupation, though brief, left its mark on Havana. British architectural styles were introduced, blending with the existing Spanish colonial designs to create a unique urban landscape. The city's defences were strengthened, and new buildings constructed in the British style added to its architectural tapestry. These changes were a testament to the city's ability to adapt and evolve. But perhaps the most enduring legacy of this period was a newfound sense of Cuban identity. The brief British rule highlighted the importance of self-determination and unity among the Cuban people. The experience of being ruled by a foreign power ignited a spark of nationalism that would eventually lead to Cuba's fight for independence. This period planted the seeds of a national consciousness that would grow stronger over the years, culminating in the eventual struggle for freedom from colonial rule. Section 5. Sweet Success, the Sugar Boom and Cultural Fusion. The 19th century witnessed an unprecedented surge in sugar production in Cuba. Havana, as the island's main port, became a global hub for the sugar trade. Fortunes were made and lost in the bustling markets, where the sweet scent of molasses filled the air. This economic prosperity fueled a golden age of art, music and literature in Havana. The city attracted talented individuals from across Cuba and beyond, drawn by its vibrancy and opportunity. Grand theatres hosted operas and zarzuelas, while elegant salons buzzed with intellectual discussions. The influx of wealth also led to the construction of opulent mansions, theatres and public spaces. Havana's architectural landscape became a captivating blend of Spanish colonial, neoclassical and Art Deco styles, reflecting the city's cosmopolitan character. The streets were alive with a mix of languages, cultures and traditions, creating a unique and intoxicating atmosphere. Section 6. Fighting for Freedom, the Road to Cuban Independence. Despite its economic success, Havana in the 19th century was a city of simmering tensions. The brutal realities of slavery, coupled with growing resentment towards Spanish rule, ignited a series of uprisings and rebellions. The desire for independence burned brightly in the hearts of many Cubans. In 1895, Cuba launched its final war for independence against Spain. Havana, as the seat of Spanish colonial power, became a focal point of the conflict. The city witnessed fierce fighting, bombings and blockades, as Cuban rebels, led by figures like José Martí and Máximo Gómez, fought bravely for their homeland's freedom. The United States, with its own interests in the region, intervened in the conflict in 1898. The Spanish-American War, though brief, had a profound impact on Cuba's destiny. Spain was defeated, and Cuba, finally free from colonial rule, embarked on a new chapter in its history.